So this video, as you can see by the title, is about the TDE Championship Tour. I guess I'll just throw in this disclaimer. These are all solely my opinion. All of the artists in this label, they're all amazing. I've seen Schoolboy Q individually in concert before. I've seen Kendrick at Pemberton Festival in Pemberton Valley, British Columbia, and that was like one of the best concerts I've ever attended in my life. The only disappointment was that Isaiah Rashad was not there. I don't know the reasoning behind that. Let me just start off with some of the things I really liked about the concert. Again, they were all really good performers, no denying that. I also really liked the general theme. It was kind of like the whole championship theme, like boxing match. In the background there were like images of all of the artists, like a baseball card with like fun facts about them. I thought that was really adorable, and I really appreciated how efficient it all was because there were so many artists performing, so for them to have such smooth transitions and be able to not end the concert at like 3 a.m. was really something else. I really wouldn't have minded the concert ending at 3 a.m. but anyway, that's another story. Overall, I felt that there were some aspects to it that felt a bit lazy. I'm not one to be talking about laziness. Like, I literally just got out of the shower and I decided to film a video. What I mean by this could have been much more than it was the fact that this is so rare to have the entire, or like almost the entire crew of a record label performing together in one arena and like going on tour together. Going into a concert where it's like pretty much the entirety of the TDE crew, I went into this with extremely high expectations. These are all a bunch of talented people and they've all done collaborations together, like multiple collaborations. Honestly, the entire concert could have been one giant collaboration and I would not have been mad about it. With the Black Panther album that came out not too long ago, there's so many collaborations on that, and seeing that live would have been so cool. Also, I do want to point out that there is a post on Reddit under Hip Hop Heads by HabsFan1320. He had a similar list of complaints, so I'm glad I'm like not the only one. I think there were one or two songs that were performed where there were like two artists on stage. I think Schoolboy Q brought up like Ab-Soul at one point or something. There was like one moment which this guy on Reddit mentions as well. He played Kendrick's verse. Kendrick didn't come on stage to like perform it live with him. He was just like sitting in the back somewhere. The Reddit post also mentions something that I forgot. So SZA's performance of Doves in the Wind, once again, Kendrick was not present. It was just his voice recording. Come on. like if you're gonna sing a song that has Kendrick featured in it and Kendrick's there, like why not bring it on stage? Like that would have been so iconic, you know? And as a Kendrick stan since the Overly Dedicated and Section 80 times, of course I wanted to hear more of that, but like I was expecting, you know, Humble and like all that other stuff. Which, speaking of which, it was a bit irritating. This may just be me because honestly, when I listen to an album, I definitely like over-listen to it, and like Humble, you know, it was on the radio a ton. So at this point, I'm a little sick of the song. Like, it's a great song, don't get me wrong, but I'm just so tired of hearing it. So the first time he performed it, it was like a live karaoke for the audience to sing it instead of him. So he was literally holding out the mic. Literally the entire song was just sung by the audience, and I was like not there for it. I didn't come here and pay a huge amount of money to like listen to the audience sing, listen to like the annoying drunk white boys in front of me sing. Like, that's a different story. And then after that, he actually sang it on his own another round through, and at this point I was like, oh my god, if I hear the song Humble one more time, I'm gonna lose my shit. So that was a little annoying. But other than that, performance-wise, I thought all of the artists performed well. SZA was like, honestly, SZA stole the show for me. She was so good live. SZA and Schoolboy Q's sets were definitely longer than the others. The ones, I wouldn't say openers because they're all like equals, but like longer than Sir. I think like Ab-Soul or whatever, he had like one song, which was kind of sad. Of course, Kendrick had... I honestly didn't feel like he had the longest set. I feel like SZA performed for longer, but maybe that was just like how it felt. So another thing, the seats. As with any like major concert, like the seating was not as accessible as it could have been. And what I mean by that is So I got like balcony seats, but I'll show images of everything so you can visualize it. I was sitting in the balcony on the side, kind of close to the stage, which if I'm gonna do balcony, that's a pretty good spot to sit because normally, even though I'm really up high, I'm like closer to the stage. And that wasn't the issue. The issue was they had these two giant pillars on the side of the stage, which were so unnecessary. They were like so wide and they blocked off half of the stage if you're sitting at any sort of angle. So unless you're sitting in the center of the floor, which again costs like, I don't know, hundreds of dollars, you're getting pretty obstructed views. Overall, in terms of seating and like stage layout, they definitely didn't think about us peasants, us commoners. I'm just gonna compare this to the J. Cole concert, not to like compare it, but I guess that's like the best way to review something. At the J. Cole concert, there was a center stage in the arena, like similar to if you were watching a hockey game. There was a stage in the very center, and then there was like another stage where the stage usually is on the side. So that meant that even if you're sitting on the, like anywhere around the circumference of the stage, you're getting like pretty much equally good seats. Which I thought was really nice because for the J. Cole concert, my seats weren't the best either, but I definitely saw more. I've never like rambled this much. I feel really uncomfortable right now. But anyway, I'm gonna keep going with this. I have more to say, more tea to spill. Now, concert aside, I feel like I have to mention the merch because honestly, I've been to quite a bit of concerts. Like I've been to a lot of hip hop concerts. This by far was the most disappointing merch sale I've ever seen. So I was like, I had my money out. Like I was ready to spend money on merch because I freaking love SZA. I was like ready to buy a SZA t-shirt, or if they had like the SZA championship if they had the SZA champion merch available like they do online, then I would have bought that shit. Because if you're Canadian, you can relate to this. Shipping, like buying stuff online from the States, that usually adds like $30 worth of US shipping to your cart. I mean, the prices themselves are in US dollars, and if you know anything about the current currency rates of like US dollar versus Canadian dollar, we're not doing so good. Like buying a t-shirt online that was like $40 US turns out to be $80, like double the price when you order it online and ship to Canada. Sorry, I'm gonna compare this to J. Cole's recent tour as well. So at J. Cole's For Your Eyes Only tour, with merch, and like this was just him performing with like a couple of opening acts, I think also from the Dreamville label, but there were like rows of merch, and it was like pretty much all the stuff that you could find online on like the Dreamville shop. It was sold there as well, and it was like rows of merch. Like I couldn't get my hands on a Dreamville hoodie because there was a swarm of people. Whereas we purposely entered the arena right when the doors opened because we wanted to like run to the merch lineup because we were expecting, again, we had high expectations. We get to the merch, there's like no lineup. There's literally like 5 things for sale. I don't think there was any merch for like the smaller guys like JID. I don't even think there was Schoolboy Q merch. There was nothing. None of the stuff that is sold online on like TDE's website was sold there. And that confused me a lot because I thought that, I could be wrong, but I thought that like a huge portion of revenues from concerts and touring is the merch sales. They could have easily brought in quality merch and like lots of people would have bought it. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe it was something to do with logistics. Maybe they couldn't get the clothes across the border. I don't know. And also, some of the locations for this tour had a pop-up sale for the championship tour exclusive, like the Nike collaborations, like all that, you know, like hype beast type stuff. You know what I'm talking about, hopefully. I don't know if I'm the best person to judge this, but like, again, these are just like my personal opinions based on like my taste. Me and my friend decided to line up for it. The Vancouver pop-up was at Livestock, so we lined up for it thinking, you know, maybe there's something cool and unique, because like, I'm pretty sure all the stuff sold at the pop-up, they're like limited edition, you can't get them at the concert itself, which was true. So I don't know if this was a false advertisement or if this was never a thing to begin with, but I was under the impression that they were going to sell the Kendrick Lamar Nike Cortez 3s, which that name has no significance to me. Anyway, and apparently those were not sold there, at least in the Vancouver pop-up, and we were handed like a piece of paper with all the stuff that was being sold, and none of it really looked attractive to me, which that could just be a me thing, but as soon as I saw that like sweatpants were $120, I was like, I'm out. Not really my thing to talk about, but I don't know, I thought I'd mention that. Like overall, I had trouble finding nice merch. Anyway, I think those are all the complaints that I have. That felt good to get out of my system. If you have tickets to this concert, I really hope that I didn't like kill your vibe. Yeah, these are just my thoughts. And if you have attended this concert already, I want to hear what you thought about the concert. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Leave a comment down below.